The Cassante usually rush a Bramble.
Yeah.
And then he gets a window somewhere in there to kill the Aatrox.
But Jiang, of course, will be very familiar with this matchup. It is the exact same matchup that he went against Driver.
Yeah.
He picked up 2 early kills, then died.
Game 3.
Yeah, and then he died, and then
he died
15
again.
kills.
And then he died again.
And he finished with 15 kills, so...
Yeah. That was a roller coaster.
Is what he goes for in runes, as does Taco. But I think across the Rift, everything making sense.
Yeah. Yeah, neither support opting for Glacial.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense for Maokai to not have the Glacial.
Well, I was thinking Leona's going to do a lot of solo frontlining, so I kind of like the aftershock.
Yeah, I mean, both supports really are going to do a lot of solo frontlining. And the only reason is, of course, there is Cassante, but oftentimes he just ends up somewhere else in a fight. Through necessity or just, you know, for whatever reason. That's, you know, champion sort of just spams his abilities and ends up wherever he wants.
Yeah.
So interesting jungle paths. We're going to have a blue start for Gemini, and Wolves will be the choice for 665. Going to be found out, though, Jiang, with that early ward, unless 665 goes straight to his red side jungle. Oh, Zenith Blade lands. Not sure that you want it.
Yeah, you will win the extended trade with lethal tempo, but you can't really lock them down yet.
Yeah.
As the
Zenith Blade lands again. Orca is here for that Bramble Smash, and... Well, I mean, trade fairly even, and considering the sustain available for the DCG bot lane, and actually, you have to argue, would favor DCG.
Yeah. Yeah, Leona up there with Ali, like in terms of weakest level 1 melee supports.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Ali. I mean, I guess it depends on the scenario. If you want to fight as Leona, I mean, as Leona or Ali, then Leona's probably stronger, because at least you can have a dash with a micro stun, whereas all Alistair can do is hit people away.
So Gemini's clearing up to top. I like this. I don't know if he's going to be able to get much done as...
Ooh.
Okay, we're going to see 665's plan here. Gemini may be wise to it.
Yeah, he is. I think 665 realized there's no way that he's not on the red buff yet, so... Yeah, he will know now, for sure. He'll know exactly where...
He might not realize he walked over vision, though.
Yeah, he won't know that part, but he should know for sure where Gemini is. Unless he thinks it was some Raptors into bot side, but even then, you do realize that this is a very slow path if that's the case, but Gemini will now...
Pretender's in base. He's TP'd in now, but Hui's got first move.
Yeah, but it is going to be smited away. Gemini picking himself up that red buff. Honestly, you don't feel that bad as Frank, as long as you are able to get out here. And he will be able to, but 665 should be fine to be able to just go bot, pick up this crab, pick up his bot side. Puts you a little bit behind in tempo, but shouldn't matter all that much.
Yeah. Yeah, you are definitely sad about it, though. As
Glenn's coming out. Tide actually very, very low. Ignite is ticking away. He should be okay as long as... Yeah, okay. It's fine. And 665, obviously, Frank are aware that he's in the bot side of the map, so... Oh! A little bit risky. He's eating up that blade caller. And Taco's home here.
Yeah.
Oh, he ate a cookie.
Right. Cookies across the board.
I think that's...
On DCG.
A fraudulent rune.
Oh, I love cookies. I'm a cookie defender.
There's a lot of stacks. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Gemini is so far ahead of this Lee Sin in tempo.
Yeah.
It's about 3 camps ahead once he gets that red buff.
They know where he is, though, and they are now also going to know where 665 is. Does he have flash? He doesn't, so this will be Gemini's camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Smite versus no smite.
Yeah.
Mid lane seemingly going pretty well here for Chris Carter. Both refillables used for Pretender.
Yeah. He got early prio pretty thoroughly. Forced Pretender back.
A 5-minute dragon.
Yeah, it's a little bit dicey, but I think they're just so ahead in jungle tempo that Lee Sin can't really contest this.
Yeah.
He has to go kill some camps.
I think he might just look for the Void Grubs, and I mean, doesn't feel that great to trade Dragon for Void Grubs, but it's better than nothing.
Frank might be able to contest this.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, Gemini is quite low, as is Kaiwing. Oh, and wow, we've had a
Pretender having a rough time in this lane. Maybe not familiar.
That's ult.
Wow.
Wow,
Okay.
I mean, Chris Carter's showing proficiency on the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if we've seen this matchup before.
We saw it yesterday, didn't we? I know we saw one Hui versus Nico. What was the other one? I'm pretty sure it was Hui versus Ori.
Yep, yeah, because it was against Vi Ori. I remember him eating a lot of the Vi Oriana ults. It went well, but not this well.
Yeah. You know, definitely Chris Carter having the best of this side.
Yeah, lanes across the board looking pretty good.
Oh, we've got a proxy
DCG.
mid laner. How often do you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, while Frank are behind, they pick up a really early first dragon, which even if they lose the next one, will mean they are going to remain 5 minutes longer into the game in terms of at least that win con. But they also do just so often find themselves behind anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of just what you expect at this point.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good thing to say, but...
Yeah, it's
still
it's
lost.
risky. Because, you imagine at some point they're going to stop finding these ridiculous plays from their mid laners. Jimmy and Pretender both have a few big plays to get them back into the games under their belt. And you imagine it's going to stop eventually, but so far, they managed to just come back into every game.
Yeah, the PCS top 5 players of the week have been awfully littered with Jimmy and Pretender.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, credit to them, but at some point you don't want to have to pull out a top 5 player of the week to win.
Every game, yeah. I mean, they are... Once they're...
Oh, this is level 6 to level 5. Gemini can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, thank God 665 on the Lee Sin gets the blue buff there. Because he's kind of looking to fight this. Oh, Kriskada has to back off this mid wave.
Yep. Gemini's still looking, though. Well, they're going to find him, but I think Kriskada, seeing Pretender walk past that tower, realizes something is afoot. That thing that was afoot was
Bot lane
treachery.
is here, but... Okay.
So I guess Kriskada just got hit by a shockwave at some point and chunked him out.
Yep.
It is the Sork Boots first here for Pretender, and once again, of course, in the skill shot matchups mid, it tends to just be best to rush Boots. Yep. While offering you less damage, it means that you're not going to take as much because you are able to dodge out just that much easier.
Yeah.
In fact, there are like certain champions that you literally never have the movement speed to dodge out of if it's perfectly placed.
Yeah.
Syndra Q's one of them. I can't remember the other ones. Oh.
There's been a lot of interaction between these two junglers.
Yeah, not a whole lot coming from it, though.
Yeah.
DCG still are ahead despite what is a pretty obvious lead in the jungle. Taco got that Bramble Vest, and this is certainly the time in which Cassante is favoured. The Aatrox, while still having sort of ways to play it, just gets so much harder when the heal cut is stopping you from really trading.
Yeah.
And of course, as I touched on yesterday, components. In terms of tank components, they're best on Cassante than anyone else. He does gain a buffed Q depending on armor and magic resist and health. So
yeah,
even though you're sitting at a components, you get that component, the effect of it, and then also the additional power.
Yeah, I do think the trade of ults top probably favors the Aatrox as long as he comes out of it okay. Just because he can, Cassante loses a massive amount of kill pressure, and as the Aatrox, you're not looking to 100-0 the Cassante in an all-in anyway. You're kind of trying to out-sustain him and then find an all-in if you're going to kill him.
For sure. I think also the Aatrox ult is on a slightly lower cooldown as well, so
yeah,
you do have a window that comes up in which you will have a favourable... Oh, Kriskada gets out, Heartbreaker will not connect. 6-5 now, does use that Dragon Rage kick, but it's onto Gemini, and somehow it's Kaiwing who's able to pick up that kill on the back end First blood going over to Kaiwing on the Leona after a fantastic shockwave coming out Pretender on the Orianna.
Yeah, nice little two-man shockwave, and Pretender is doing so much damage on the Ori right now. With this Comet W Max build, he's hitting the Hui for nearly half of his HP with a QW. So once he lands the ult there, I'm surprised it took so long for Cascada to go down. Kaiwing snipes him out with the ult. And I wonder if he leveled to 6 as that fight was happening. I think he might have, because I don't think Tide was 6.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but it is going to be that first blood, and now 6 Void Grubs actually picked up for 665, and the rest of DCG, of course, which, while not the most impactful objectives, once you have 6, it feels really, really good.
Yeah, very strong.
If you ever auto-attack a tower, it starts to just decay.
So here's a two-man shockwave. Immediately chunks out Cascada. Nice flash from Gemini to follow up, and I think it's just Kaiwing with the Solar Flare, and the Ignite picks him up. Very close to Tide getting his Q back there. Yeah. As nice little pickup from Frank.
Eminem picks up a kill on Tide here. Orca, I mean, I don't think you're ever truly diving this Maokai.
Yeah, should be
top though. Jungton has to flash away as the all-out comes out from Taco. That's a massive cooldown now down. Through will come Maokai and the Nature's Grasp. 665's coming. He flashes away from that snare as he's looking for more. His ult is very, very close to being up. Orca very low on mana though. So it does feel a little bit too risky to go forward as Eminem has everything up and available.
Yeah, unfortunately Tide got caught out without his flash and goes down. They try to get something back as Cascada's ulting.
Yeah, okay, it's an ult-for-ult trade thus far.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh. Well, there is action everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone fighting. As we're going to see what happened to Tide here. He just walks into Viego.
Oh, he queued and it hit the blast cone. Oh, dear.
Yeah, and, I mean, yeah, he's just doomed here.
If he didn't queue, I actually think he lives.
Yeah, maybe. I thought Gemini had done that intentionally.
No, it was the queue.
Wow, this lane turned around so suddenly. It went from Cascada having all the pressure to getting solo killed.
Yeah, now Gemini gonna have all this time in the world to look for this blue buff, but 665 is looking to defend it. Taco actually. Jung has no flash. Gemini's gonna come defend his top laner. 665 will be here though. We could quickly find a 2v2. Taco gonna dodge out, and now Jung gonna have to pop that world ender. Goes though to match here for Taco as he's trying to look for something from Jung. Dragon's Rage comes out. Jung trying to find the damage. Heartbreaker comes through, but it's not enough as Taco brings Gemini into his tower. Sonic Wave, resonating strike, and it's going to be 2 kills. Turn back, although the Q3 confirms that Jung is living. Jung has just got the double.
I do not know how he managed to turn that around, and I couldn't tell who was baiting who for the start of that fight, and somehow Jung lives on 1 HP. I saw him dodge about 5 Qs between Cassante and Lee Sin, as there's going to be an engage on the bot lane.
Battle. We battle more. Nature's Grasp, everything coming out. Eminem going to be touched there by that Q of Hui, but Kaiwing looks like he'll be able to get out. Teleport now coming through. This is going to have to be a commit. Nice route. Tide might turn around 1 kill. Xenoblade does land on the back end, though. He does get taken out. Cascada's running for his life. He uses that trail to try and speed himself up just that little bit, but Jung is here. Jung has the Profound Hydra. It's going to be the Shockwave, but the Fear's coming out, but it will be another kill turned around, and this game has turned on its head.
Yeah, neither team really scared to fight. DCG may be overcommitting with the TP up to flank, and we're going to see how Pretender got this solo kill on Cascada. He does have flash here. Yeah, no flash on Cascada. And yeah, you saw the mid and the ADC lose their flashes, as we're just going to see, just watch Young dodge pretty much every spell, as it looked like they were baiting Taco, but then 665 shows up, but dodging this Q, pivotal. Taco manages to somehow turn this around. It looks doomed. Like, it looks completely doomed. And then they manage to turn around, and it looks doomed for Frank at this point. I have no idea how he does this.
Okay, they dodged that, but it's just
he kills the Lee Sin as he's flying in, and then dodges that Q.
I guess the auto attack reset.
Yeah. As he's gyrating.
Yeah, that was lava. Love has come back. But he was on J team.
And Taco's in a rough spot now.
Taco is in a rough spot. This is going to be mid-tower going down with that Herald. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit risky. I guess you are a Maokai, so...
Yeah, no one around to follow up. Otherwise, he could have maybe done something there. Gemini looked a little bit out of position maybe, but... not much going on as the third dragon is coming up, and you really want to contest this if you're DCG. And this is kind of the problem with the Void Grubs. Immediately it's stronger. While they have 2 dragons and you have 6 Void Grubs, you are in that moment stronger, but as the game goes on, first of all, if you're behind, useless. You're never getting anywhere near a tower. And then as the game goes on, the 2 dragons just give you so much help in the macro. And put so much pressure on your enemy team to commit to fights they maybe don't want to take.
Taco has teleport. He's going to use it here. Nature's Grass also coming out. See what Hui can do. We're having to mark Jiang because that guy is ferocious. Gemini in the pit. Dragon now down to 3k HP. Sonic Wave will land and it's going to be taken. It's Eminem who gets the dragon. And Gemini going unstoppable. Does manage to get himself out. Is now Orca stuck in the pit with 4, but Jiang's got 4 on the other side. Does have to flash away from this Cassante. Eminem also picking up a kill after securing that dragon. Gemini flashing forward. He's found his way here onto Tide as that Maokai transforms. Taco finds 1 in response. It's going to be ultimately 2 going down on the side of DCG. They get 1, but 3rd dragon for Frank.
Yeah, they have to pay so much attention to this Aatrox and use so much just to keep him out of the fight, and they don't even get him to half HP. Jung not doing much damage that fight, but I mean, he had 4 people on him running around in circles, and they're not able to help Orca out of the pit.
Oh, who was this? Oh, it's Cascada. Uh-oh. Oh, no, it's Orca. I've been duped.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting this Maokai
no
support champ has the teleport.
Yeah, no one expects the Maokai or the Nautilus to show up.
All right, how long until you think Taco just randomly solo kills this Aatrox just because he's funny champion?
Yeah, should be due. As, I mean, Jiang, they have to use so much on him to keep him off. Let's see how much HP this dragon got to.
Yeah, Eminem gets it somehow.
Yeah. I guess they time maybe the Xayah feather pool. Wow, it disappears from 1300. That was just anyone's.
And both junglers' smites are on cooldown.
Yeah, just everyone's smote. And Orca's just stuck fighting 4 people. Fares a lot worse than the Aatrox. And really nice by Gemini to follow up this kill. I don't think if he got the reset he was ever living there, but yeah, nice to get a kill. And both sums out of Tide.
Oh. Yomu's completed, but I mean the gold graph does tell a story. Honestly, the fact it's still only 3k in favor of Frank, it's not insurmountable. I think the biggest problem you're faced with though is of course these dragons. I mean, we're at 18 minutes and we're but 3 minutes away from what could be Soul.
Yeah.
And I don't know really how you're going to be dealing with Ocean Soul this early on. You do have some previous wounds in that Bramble Vest, but the problem is, are people really wanting to hit the Cassante? No. And how do you apply it to champions like Orianna?
Yeah. And I mean, this Aatrox is going to be so difficult to kill.
Yeah, I swear this is just one of those games where, again, Maokai just build Oblivion Orb. You don't want it. You'd rather be tanky, but if they're going to get Ocean Soul, you may as well
seems like he'd be good.
Huh?
Hui seems like he'd be good at applying the Morello.
Good at applying it, but then you're stunting your carry's damage so much. And we saw in that last fight, Hui actually did the most damage in the fight, despite it not going in their favor. I just don't think you want to stunt his sort of scaling any further. You have gone for the Seraph, so you've already gone a slower scaling build instead of what we usually see, which is that Luden's Companion. And so at this point, you really need to get those items online. And I think you can't really afford the 800 gold.
Yeah, and Hui was the champ they picked in this draft as we need damage.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere in the draft, and it's going to be Hui, so yeah, maybe hard to justify Morello on him.
You'd never go the full Morello, I don't think, but certainly could opt into just the Oblivion Orb, but I don't think it's worth it. I think you just put it on Maokai. Again, while you'd rather be tanky, 800 gold to apply Grievous Wounds to what could be an Ocean sold up team is very valuable.
So I think DCG mostly worried about the Baron right now, but in a minute, you know, they will be fighting for the game, essentially. I don't see much hope for them in an already low damage draft where they're behind up against Ocean Soul.
Yeah. You're kind of really hoping this Thornmail gets finished soon, and not for anything other than the additional stats, once again, to try and help Taco in these fights. Chris Gard, I mean, he's obviously been caught a couple of times, but we saw when he's able to do damage, he does do the damage.
Yeah, he's got plenty of damage, but...
And the team fight's honestly not that bad. You have a lot of lockup with Maokai, which is really nice when you're Hui, that you can follow up on it really well. You do struggle with damage a little bit, but ultimately there's not too many really tanky members on the side of Frank. And so Senna will be doing a reasonable amount of damage with the Youmu's and Bloodsong combination.
Yep.
Definitely not as much as Eminem, don't get me wrong. He's now completed his Navori, but... And honestly, the
from Orca.
Oh, yeah, we've got a flank going on here. Two-man will be found. We've got a lot of CC coming through. It's a nice shockwave, but is it going to be enough? Taco is on to Pretender. Eminem's kill tied already as Gemini looks for that reset. We've got another kill coming through, but Taco is still very strong. He finds a two-man knockup. He's looking for a third. Double kill, though, for Eminem as Taco still going forward. Wall jump from 665. He's trying to find the damage. Eminem, he's taken out. Triple kill for this Zaya. There's no Chris Carter. The resets come through once more for Gemini, and Taco will be going down. No way in the fight. Aatrox marking him. It will be this Dragon Soul now confirmed for the side of Frank.
Yeah, a really good go from DCG. It looked great for a moment there, but Eminem just free hitting. Got another really strong late game performance from him on the Zaya. Seems like once he gets his items going on the Zaya, he can take over these team fights. They got Pretender super early in the fight, and I thought they might just be able to win it. But they don't, and the Ocean Soul goes over to Frank.
Yeah, I mean, they got Pretender early, but importantly, he got a really good shockwave off anyway.
Yeah, he always manages to somehow.
Yeah, and yeah, as you said, Eminem just untouched the whole time.
I think he gets Maokai rooted into Senna W, I think. Oh, wow.
Oh! That was actually split seconds.
Yeah, and then he actually gets his TP interrupted on the other end.
Wow.
But Hui was a lot of the damage in this comp. Maybe even more important than the Fed Aatrox showing up, honestly. As they just don't have, you know, the juice to get through the rest of these members. As Cassante does his thing.
That is a lot of gold, though, for DCG. Is it worth more? Oh! As I say that, Taco will be going down.
Yeah, it looks like he ate an Orianna ult. He's stacking almost entirely armor, so...
Yeah. Gets himself a Negatron cloak now, but... too late once you're already dead. Did also use his all out there, so won't have that available to him for a while. Bramble Vest is the pickup for Orca. I don't like it. You apply that so much less often than you will be applying.
I think, does Thornmail still put the healing reduction on people when you CC them?
Ooh.
I think it does.
Maybe it does.
But Thornmail is pretty far away. So I do actually agree with you that Oblivion Orb, if you need the urgent heal cuts, Cascada is...
Oh, nice fear. And this is World End to use. That's a big cooldown. 65 following along, but now we do see the rest of Frank coming. Tide dodges out of that Solar Flare. Very important. 65 does go forward, but he is taking so much damage from this Zaya. We get the root, though. Zaya going to have to use that Featherstorm as Taco, as well as Orca, are now in the fray, and the shutdown comes through. Cascada claiming himself a much-needed gold influx, and now Taco, he's found exactly what he wants. Kaiwing and Gemini left alone with this Cassante, but it's DCG, who the rest of the members also low. The healing coming through from this Soul is just so immense. They're going to be able to take out this Cassante. Cascada's trying to find damage on the back end, but too little too late.
Taco eats another one-man Orianna ult and gets one tapped. He wants to be fighting anyone else, honestly, but the credit to DCG somehow managing to find Eminem in this fight, as we're going to see the other solo ult. Oh, doesn't manage to dash out of it. I don't know if he had his W up. Maybe not.
I think he might have. I don't know why else he would have used it on. But alas.
Cascada did manage to get a massive shutdown off of Eminem. And if the game wasn't so one-sided, especially the Soul, DCG would be in okay shape. You know, if they just hadn't given up the Soul, even if it was this one-sided in terms of gold, because it's kind of hard for Xayah to deal with these carries on the side of DCG. We've seen her struggle against Senna and a long-range duo carry. As I thought Cascado was just one-tapped here, but the Seraph's shield comes in, makes it look like he takes no damage from the Q3.
So much slow coming through as well.
And I thought 665 was running it here. But they do manage to get Eminem off of it, as the Maokai ult somehow roots him while he's standing behind Kaiwing. And yeah, there's a snipe out from Cascada. Tide ends up having to flash away from Jiang here, finding a really good angle onto him.
Just the healing coming through.
Yeah.
Look at Kaiwing's health, just constantly plus 41, plus 41, plus 41.
Yeah.
Has Bramble on him now, finally, but, I mean...
Yeah.
Back to live. Baron is alive, but they're just trying to siege without it. It's kind of hard to look for the siege into the sway.
So much wave clear. So much wave clear, and if you overcommit to the siege, you know, Orca might find his way to a nice Maokai ulti.
Okay. Teleport coming through. This is Orca. I will not be fooled again. Oh, flash forward. Xenoblade lands. He lands it onto exactly who you'd want. It's Cascada. Seraph's shield is going to pop. He finds a nice ultimate, though. Gemini getting low. And the shockwave misses on the backhand kick. Pretender, he's going to have to flash away. But now here comes Jiang. He's running through this team fight. Taco's trying to do the same. But to much less effect, as they're going to find a double. They're looking for everyone. Only Tide and Cascada, the two carries, will remain. And now it's going to be Baron now for Frank.
A great engage from Kaiwing to start that fight onto Cascada. Somehow he lives and he plays that fight out of his mind, but it's just not enough. I mean, a lot of full HP bars on the side of Frank. 665 finding the ult flash onto Pretender, but Pretender is just able to flash out and, you know, get away on full HP. And it makes you wonder, does the Lee Sin actually fit in this comp? Because you're kicking a carry into Senna and Hui. So you've kind of put the Orianna in range of, like in her range rather than in your carry's range. You know, when you kick an Orianna into these two very long range carries, you know, it doesn't feel that useful, as Kaiwing finds an amazing engage here. Very smooth combo, and I think his team's just not close enough to follow. Eminem tries to get the ult on him. A nice flash gets him out. 665 does dodge the Orianna ult here and kicks the Orianna in. But Hui and Senna not really able to follow up, you know, on those kind of picks.
Yeah, and I mean, that was kind of all she wrote for that fight.
Yeah.
Elder Dragon now spawned, though. I mean,
yeah,
you know, we don't often get to the actual point of the game where it is the, well, we flip Elder. But we are here now. It's 10k gold in favor of Frank. So any fight, I mean, not only the 10k gold, but also the Ocean Soul on top of it. I mean, look at the disparity between Senna and Eminem. Between Tide and Eminem. I mean, almost 4 items now on your Xayah to the 1 and a Dirk.
Yeah.
These are not comparable things. Jiang is going to note the location of both 665
he's level
and
17 on the Aatrox.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 levels up on the highest level member of DCG.
Now, I mean, Elder picked up, of course, and they're going to have that for a fair while. 2.5 more minutes. There's only 1 more minute left on this Baron, but, I mean, honestly, they could probably take the entire base in that time. You can't defend at all. Cascada gets a little bit of gold for himself up in the top side. Maybe he can back get Crypt Bloom. Don't know that it changes a whole lot, but it's certainly better than nothing.
Yeah, I think you just go for some Dream Miracle team fight, I guess. Maybe you can give 2 inhibs and try stall out the Elder, but I'm not sure if Frank are really going to comply.
Yeah, I don't even know if that achieves much, really, in the sort of context of what this game looks like, but
yeah.
They are trying, at least, of course. Level 15 now for Taco. I didn't see if Crypt Bloom was completed or not. I have to assume it is. It was the shutdown on the top tower. But I mean, this siege can just go forever for Frank.
Yep.
Ocean Soul, that gives them mana as well as health. I mean, what are you really supposed to do?
one tower dead already.
Yeah, that's first tower gone. I mean, you're going to have to commit.
Oh.
Jung's going to be the one that commits. He gets rooted up. Wielding are going to be used, and Cascada comes through with the whale. And on the backside, Orca trying to lock up Gemini to no avail. Through will come Taco, though. Taco's trying to find damage onto someone. He ults Jung eventually, but ultimately will be taken down by Eminem on the Zaya. And now 4 people left. They are slowing up, but this soul healing is just so immense. The Dragon's Breath comes out. Everyone on Frank has 225 stacks, and they have the first win of the series.
Yeah, pretty